Can I still celebrate Halloween even though I'm converting to Orthodox Judaism? Let's talk about it in today's video. Shalom, besties! My name is Haley and I'm converting to Orthodox Judaism, and I started this YouTube channel to share my Jewish learning journey. Before we get into it, what do we think about my spatula mic? It's usually a spatula or a spoon. Some of you have commented you love it. I'm glad you love it. I just feel like I need to hold a microphone versus just having one pinned on me, unless I'm doing stuff with my hands like I did in the last video where I was working with some vegetables and stuff. So if you haven't watched that video yet, go check it out. By the time this comes out, tomorrow will be Halloween. So will I be celebrating Halloween this year? The answer is no, and that is for two reasons. Number one, Halloween this year falls on Shabbos. It's on Friday, so most people are probably going out trick-or-treating and going to their parties on Friday night. So that's one big reason I won't be celebrating, because I don't use electricity on Shabbos. And actually, starting this Friday, we are at the point in our conversion where we are no longer driving on Shabbos. For a while we had been, and now we're at the point where it's time to lock in for Shabbos. And we do not live in walking distance of our shul, so that means every Friday we have to go spend the night somewhere else at a community member's home or wherever so that we can walk to shul on Saturday. The bigger reason why I won't be celebrating Halloween is because, no, as Orthodox Jews, we do not celebrate Halloween. And I just want to preface this to say that if you celebrate Halloween, you love Halloween, that's totally fine. I am not here to proselytize my beliefs or anything like that, or to discourage anyone from having a good time. If Halloween is your thing, have fun. That's awesome. And I actually used to love Halloween, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. So what makes converting to Orthodox Judaism different from maybe some other forms of Judaism is that with Orthodox Judaism, you are committing to follow the Torah. You are committing to all of the mitzvot. And something that is very explicit in the Torah is that as Jews, we are not supposed to celebrate pagan holidays. Now, there's the argument that Halloween is more of a commercial holiday these days. It's just for fun. It's not celebrated in the same way that it was years ago, but it still has pagan origins. There are still people who celebrate it in that way. I would argue it is still technically a pagan holiday. So no, I do not celebrate Halloween, but I do celebrate Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is not a religious holiday in any way. It's purely just an American holiday. We get the day off, we spend time with our family. But I think a conversation that is interesting to have is what counts as celebrating. For me, where I'm at with Halloween, I don't participate in dressing up. I'm not decorating my house for Halloween specifically. I'm an adult, so this doesn't really pertain to me, but I'm not going out trick-or-treating. But if Halloween wasn't on Shabbos this year, would I be doing things like handing out candy? Would I put on a spooky movie? I want to know from you guys where you draw the line. Maybe if you're an Orthodox Jew or from another sect of Judaism, leave your comments below. I'd be curious to know, where do you draw the line when it comes to these holidays? But also, something that I appreciate about Judaism that I take pretty seriously is how we celebrate life. And there are some superstitions around talking about death or handling that subject. And if you think about it, Halloween is really revolved around death. It's supposed to be this time of year where the spirit realm is more accessible and you can communicate with the dead and things like that. But something with Judaism that I've been learning more and more about is we really separate life and death. Actually, I saw something on TikTok about kosher eating recently, and someone said that we separate meat and dairy because the Torah says so, but another way to think about it is that milk represents life, because when a baby is born, milk is produced and that milk sustains that life. Whereas meat, you're killing something that represents death, and we don't mix the two. And I thought that was such an interesting way to frame eating kosher. But that's a big theme that I've been seeing a lot learning about Judaism is we really focus on life, and it's almost like bad luck to bring up those things. So even though I don't personally celebrate Halloween, I have plenty of friends who do celebrate Halloween and they love this holiday. They go all out for it. And I will never be someone to make someone feel bad about something that brings them so much joy. Just because I observe my religion one way doesn't mean everyone needs to do the same thing as me. So even though I personally don't celebrate Halloween anymore, I do acknowledge I used to love this holiday. It used to be my most favorite holiday. I loved all the spooky things. I loved the vibes. I loved going to the pumpkin patch and all these things. And a lot of these things I can still do. I see them as like seasonal activities versus like a Halloween activity. As I get older, I'm not as into certain things, and Halloween was one of those things. For a long time, Halloween was very nostalgic for me. It was just fun, but also I was a little witchy. And I've been like hesitant to talk about this because some people are really surprised by it. I used to do tarot readings. I used to do them online for people or like friends who wanted a reading. I would do that for them. I followed the lunar cycle, and I was really just experimenting and seeing what I believed in. And actually what initially led me to Judaism was I was listening to a podcast hosted by literally a couple of witches. And one of the hosts talked about how she's Jewish, and she talked about Jewish mysticism and the Hebrew calendar. And I was like, well, maybe I should look into Judaism a little bit. I've always loved the Bible and studying the word. And now I was also just becoming more spiritual and paying attention to like nature and the lunar cycles and things like that. So when I heard about the Hebrew calendar, I was like, ooh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. And that is what led me to initially look into Judaism, like start Googling. So it's just kind of funny looking back, like how that ultimately led me here. And now I'm converting to Orthodox Judaism. And here I am, like not celebrating Halloween anymore or doing tarot or any of those things I used to do. So that is my spooky origin story when it comes to my Jewish journey. I know it's a surprising way to be led to Judaism, and now I'm becoming Orthodox. It's just funny where things lead you. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, why don't you leave a comment saying spooky? Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe for weekly videos, and I will see you in the next one. Shalom, besties.